Hi everyone. I watched Murder on the Orient Express last night, and it wasn't exactly what I expected, but it was still brilliant. I mean, Kenneth Branagh's performance was brilliant, and Daisy Ridley's performance was brilliant. As for the other actors in the film, their performances were okay, at best. Um, but I'll be talking about the symbolism in the Orient Express film later in this video. But first, I'd like to touch on what happens in X Factor last night, um, and how much of an Illuminati Freemason symbolic thing it is. So, basically, this person called Alissa, who represents the Revelation 12 woman, she got sent home, and that represents when the Rev 12 woman leaves to go to heaven. So basically, see the V in ITV for the fifth age, because it's got to do with Roman numerals, the V being a 5. And then see also how she is the fifth act to be eliminated, again for the fifth age, and the fifth angel known as Satan. We have to pass over the fifth age so we can get into the sixth age, which is used as a golden age. See how they spelt her name wrong here? Her last name is spelt wrong. But down here, they spell it right, see? So, basically, they had to sing George Michael songs at the weekend. And for those who don't know, George Michael represented Michael the Archangel, just like Michael Jackson did. Now, if I remember rightly, didn't George Michael and Carrie Fisher die around the same time? So all of this symbolism is getting dragged back up again of George Michael's death, and like Carrie Fisher's death is going to be dragged up again, what with the tribute to her being in The Last Jedi. So see how she performed praying for time. Alissa did. That's a massive symbolic thing. Because we are praying for the time that we have left on this earth before the end times start and we have to go to heaven. Like another massively symbolic thing is the fact that the phone lines were only open for 5 minutes. Five minutes for the fifth age. It was so unfair because I think on Saturday night they were open for 12 minutes. Basically, I didn't have time to vote for her. I would have done if I had time, but it's because I was like, I had only just got in from the cinema, like after watching Orient Express. But anyway, so basically, for some reason, like the viewers are furious that this Grace contestant broke a major show rule. Now, I don't get why they're furious about this, but they don't seem to be furious about the fact that Alice was eliminated, because I am furious about that. Like, but like if Grace like eventually gets eliminated from the show, then that would represent that there's no more grace and mercy, and then basically see the Illuminati pyramid there. So, see 12th of November, just like on Saturday night, the phone lines were open for 12 minutes. So, yeah, that's how deep we're going in this video. Holly Tandy, another contestant who represents the Rev 12 woman. See, she's wearing white for heaven. Just like Louisa Johnson was wearing white for heaven, like in my last video. So, here it is. The fifth trumpet and the fifth angel. See? In Revelation 9. Ali Larter, she's another person who represents the Rev 12 woman. See Ali? See Ali there? See? I suppose it could go back to Muhammad Ali. Because he's another person who died, isn't he? Like, um, so now we're going into Murder on the Orient Express spoiler territory. So if you don't want to know what happens, then I recommend you turn the video off. Um, so basically, at the start of the film, Puro, he's like, oh, there is only good and bad. There are no grey areas. But by the end of the film, um, like he basically completely changes his mind about that. But I'm not going to tell you why. But it's to do with who the murderer is. Um, like the reason that I'm not going to tell you why is because I want to avoid spoilers as much as possible. Um, so yeah. So I think that's kind of how The Last Jedi is going to go as well. With Luke at the beginning of the film thinking there is only light and dark, good and bad, there are no grey areas. But by the end of the film, he completely changes his mind. I mean, like, I think like it's also to do with the fact that Puro and Luke are both the Jesus characters, and they both have facial hair. Like, I mean, it really wouldn't surprise me if Justice League showed the same symbolism. To be honest, like Superman, the Jesus character, like come in with his beard, and then his facial hair, and then like I mean, it probably won't be exactly the same because from what I've heard, Superman doesn't show up until the end of the film. But I mean, in Batman v Superman and Man of Steel, um, he probably thought, "Oh, there is just good and bad. There are no grey areas." But by the time we reach the end of Justice League, he will probably think, right, there is actually grey areas after all. Isn't it the Grox that says there is only light and dark? There is only good and bad. There are no grey areas. Like, I don't know if that's exactly true or not, but tell me what you think in the comments section below this video. I mean, can it really be as simple as black and white in this complicated world? Or I suppose it's like made complicated by God to test our faith, like our faith in Him. See December 15th for the fifth age. Thank you very much, everybody. The last Jedi, meaning the last Christians. Hopefully, we will be granted admittance into heaven before we are completely wiped out. God have mercy. Even on things like Impractical Jokers, they joke about burning churches and stuff like that. God have mercy on us all. The blue versus the red. And here comes the grey areas represented by Luke's hair. Because Luke's an old man now, so he's gone grey. So, Adam, just like my name's Adam, blood worth. That could be to do with the worth of Jesus' blood. See how that bird, that eagle, is granted to her so that she can ascend into heaven. That's why the bird is above her, see? The blue for Jesus, the white for heaven. God have mercy on us all. A person called Sam stayed in the competition, and he was crap. And you know why, don't you? Because Samael is another name for Satan. Me and the Grok show this example quite a lot. Here comes Satan, the dragon mentioned in Revelation 12. See right here, the sigil of Baphomet. See Samael right there. That X Factor contestant who got through last night, his name is literally Sam Black. Sam for Samael, which is another name for Satan. And then Black for the time of darkness coming. Time of darkness comes at the end times. And then Lilith. Because Lilith was like a character in Doctor Who. I think it's the Shakespeare Carried episode. She's like an alien carrier now that looks like a witch. So, Lilith is probably the woman of wickedness, because the woman of wickedness is usually seen as a witch. I'll tell you one final thing about this movie, and that is the fact that the person who gets killed is Johnny Depp, and like Johnny Depp like represents Satan in the movie. Because see this like red smoke? That represents red mist for Satan. And then you see the blue text for Jesus. So it's blending the iron with the clay. Like blending the blue, the good, with the red, the bad. So see Leslie Odom Jr., he represents Obama. Just like doom coming. So the train, that's showing the exact same symbolism as Resident Evil 0. Because like, I guess like the zombies murdering people, like that probably represents like the same as whoever murdered Johnny. I know who murdered Johnny, but I'm not going to reveal that. Basically, I'll tell you that a weapon that is used in this film is a knife. Now, basically, a knife is like one of the weapons that you can get in the Resident Evil games. So, basically, knives represent the swords that comes out of Jesus' mouth for World War III. So, see how it says Wonder? Because Holly Tandy represents Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman's the Rev 12 woman, just like Holly.